Hi everybody from TechnoLost and welcome to this dedicated focus on the custom ROM Paranoid Android version 3.0 on this beautiful Nexus 10. Well, this is the first release candidate for the version 3.0 of the Paranoid Android. Let me show you here. And it's based on the 4.2.1, sorry. And maybe in a few days we will see the one based on the 4.2.2, because they already started working on the version 4.2.2 for the Nexus 10. Well, first of all, what is the Paranoid Android? The Paranoid Android is a custom ROM based on the sources, then it's a AOSP ROM with some stuff coming from the Challenger mode and some other stuff coming from the AOKP. Well, what we have here, first of all, we have, like we have in many custom ROM, the root privilege, and this thing is useful for many stuff, like having, for instance, the possibility to use USB host connectivity on the Nexus 10. Then we can use pen drive using the USB host cable, for instance. Moreover, we have, and this is in my opinion really useful, the stock browser. This stock browser nowadays is still maybe the best browser on Android, even of course better of the Chrome. It's really smooth, fluid, and we have the possibility to go into full screen mode, so we don't have the top bar on the top, which really wastes space while surfing the web. Moreover, as you can see, it's really fluid, extremely smooth, both in scrolling and in pinch to zooming. Moreover, it does support the flash player, as you can see here, so we can enable it. And as you will see, we're not gonna lose anything for what concern smoothness and pinch zooming speed. It's incredible. This is the best browser even now on any Android device. Well, this is of course the stock browser on the Paranoid Android. Then maybe the best features of the Paranoid Android are the one dealing with the screen size and per single app size. We have so many settings and customization here, so let's start to see something. We have a dedicated menu here, starting with the theme selector. This is derivated directly from the Challenger. Then we have the lock screen settings. Just let me zoom a little bit so you can see better. Here we have the see-through settings that let us see through the lock screen, so we can see, for instance, the home wallpaper and the widget and so on. We can use, with this selection, home screen widgets, any kind of widget on the lock screen, because usually we can just use the lock screen widget when we cannot use the home screen widget. Then we can change the shortcuts of the unlock rings of the lock screen. And we can use, for instance, volume rocker to control the music while long pressing, or for instance to wake up the device while using the volume rocker. Then we have the settings for the toolbars. This is very interesting because we go from the settings of the start bus, going from the whether to show or not the clock style, AM or PM. Notification count, so we can choose a little number on each notification type to see how many notifications we have for those kind of type. We can choose finally the custom tiles. As you can see here, I have many new tiles in respect of what we can find on stock ROM, and we can choose both the layout and the the tiles. We just have to press here the add button and then choose between all the possible tiles that we have inside the Paranoid Android. And we have, of course, the possibility to choose whether to have different network modes or sound mode for what concern the dedicated tiles. But maybe the best things in this, apart from the tiles we have, this is really interesting. It's called the PI controls. We have some settings dealing with the navigation bar, because we can add, for instance, the search button or the menu button always visible into the navigation bar. But what is really interesting here are the PI controls. The PI is just a substitute of both the navigation bar and the status bar together. How we can choose a PI? Well, we just have to press the power menu here, and when we press the power menu, we have the expanded desktop. And this way, as you can see, we don't have anymore the status bar nor the navigation bar. What can we do? We just have to enter with a finger from the left side in this case, and we have, this is the PI. This is why it's called PI, because it's like a PI, you see. And we have here both the navigation bar and here the notification bar with clocks. Just let me zoom so you can maybe read better. Yes, we have the clock, we have the date, we have the percentage of the battery, and we have even the Wi-Fi network. Moreover, if we go up this side, we have the notification area, while on the other side we have the quick settings area. So this is really interesting. So the PI is such a great features, but in my opinion, we have here, you see here we have the percentage of the battery, which is indicated even with this line, So the PI is really interesting, but to me it's not perfect. It's not perfect because we don't have any more notification bar here, status bar. To me, at least, maybe you don't care, but to me it's really useful to have notification always visible. But there's a way to change these things. Just let me go on and show you something. So we were talking about the PI settings, so let's see something here. In the toolbar settings we have the trigger area, wrong menu. Trigger area, which means the size of the area triggered by the finger. We can have small, normal, big, huge. I have the big area. Then we have the PI style, which means we have the normal, quick, bare, and slow. This is nothing but the animation. Just let me see, this is quicker. We don't have almost any animation, while if we use the normal, as you can see, the blurring of the rest of the workspace is really slow. Then we have the gravity. Gravity means the side where we want to be triggered by the finger to enter the PI. I chose the left side, but we can even move the PI. When we have the PI here visible, we have to drag it on another area like this, leave it, and then we move the PI and we can get it back to its own area. Then we have PI size. Of course, it's the size of the PI. We have the item gap. When we enter the PI, every slice of the PI has a small space. We can even choose to enlarge or less that space. Let me get inside the settings. Then we have the item gap, we have the persistent menu button or persistent search button. This is for what concerns the PI. Now let's get out the extended desktop and get back to the navigation bar and the notification bar. Beside the PI, we have a very great features of the Paranoid Android is the hybrid engine. This is really a great piece of software, because it lets us choose both the settings and the layout of the whole system or of any single application. Here the first thing we have is the launch menu, and we have here some preset. We have the stock UI, which is used normally on phones. We have phablet UI, which is started being using on Nexus 7, and then it was used on Nexus 10. We have tablet UI small size, tablet UI mid size, and tablet UI big size. The tablet UI is the one used up to ice cream sandwich on tablet. So just to have an idea, let me change here the layout. As you can see, the status bar, the upper status bar went off, and we have here the classical tablet UI with the navigation bar on the left together with the settings and the notification bar here. And we even have here the quick settings, just pressing the small button here. Okay, and this is the small version. As you can see, we have small fonts size. Sorry, let's get back. Too much. Then we have, of course, the medium size, where the both phone and navigation icons are bigger. And we have, of course, the tablet UI big size with big icons and big fonts and big navigation icon here. As you can see, even the font for the date and time and the quick settings are bigger. Then these are, as I told you, some presets for what concerns the layout and the size. But we can even mix the things together. Moreover, we have here the settings for the panel Android colors, which means that we can have custom color settings for any app like launcher, Google Play Store, messaging, calendar, and so on. And we can mix things together. This is really interesting to me. For instance, just let me show you the things. As I told you, I do like the pie, but I'd like to have the status bar always visible. Then I just have to select the phablet UI preset like this, and then again into the interface menu. Here, as you can see, I can play with both the layout size and the site itself. What is different? Any app has a layout inside, which means different kind of UI for phablet layout, for tablet layout, for phone layout. Any app can have any every kind of layout. It can even have just one layout, for instance. So one thing is the layout, which is of course the layout of the UI. One thing is the sites, which means when we selected a layout, we can choose whether to have things bigger or smaller, and this is the size here. Then, as I told you, I choose the phablet layout. As you can see, we have, of course, the phone, phablet, and tablet. We have three kind of layout. And let me choose a little bit bigger size, which is 320, which is the default size for what concerns the Nexus 10. As you can see, both the navigation bar and the status bar got bigger, sorry. And then what can I do? I can completely remove just the navigation bar, selecting 0% for the navigation bar. Here is what I obtain. I continue having the status bar here, together with the quick settings, of course. So this bar will be always visible, but I don't have anymore the navigation bar. What can I do? Here we go. We have the pie. But this is really interesting because we have the pie just for the navigation bar. We don't have anything dealing with the status bar. So we continue having the status bar, but we have the pie just for the navigation. This is really interesting, as you can see. really good. We can even have the possibility to, you know, close every app, open it in multitasking. So this is a really interesting configuration in my opinion. Then for what concerns the interface, we can even change the global color. For instance, we can go inside the app menu and change both colors, size and layout of every single app. This is really great. So for instance, if I select the browser, I can choose both the size and the layout, and even the color of every single bar, navigation bar, navigation button, navigation glow color, status bar color and status icon color. So both the navigation bar, in this case the pie, because we don't have the navigation bar, and the status bar will change color when we get inside the browser. But what is really even more interesting here is that, for instance, if we select the tool settings here, beside the possibility of having a backup and then restore the previous backup or to delete a backup, we have this kind of expert mode. Using this expert mode, we can choose for a single app not only the size, the layout and custom color, but even these 3 settings. And a settings really interesting is this one, the expand. Using the expand settings, it's like telling the tablet that we just want this app to go in extended mode. So we will use our custom layout. Like me, I have the status bar but not the navigation bar here, as you can see. But if I do select the browser, just let me show you what does happens. The browser goes into expanded mode. So I don't even have here the status bar, but this happens only for the browser because I did select just the browser to have this kind of settings. So as you can see, in this case we have the whole pie, which means both navigation bar and status bar, quick notification area and notification area and quick settings area. Whenever we get out of the application, we choose to go in expanded mode, we get back to our previous layout. So this is really an interesting settings. Just let me get out the expand mode for the browser. So these are the main features of the Paranoid Android. I mean, it's such a good ROM, especially for what concerns the Nexus device, because being an AOSP ROM, and you know, it's almost perfect for what concerns the Nexus devices. Moreover, the performance are completely in line for what with the performances I registered on the stock ROM. We just have few things, you know, to get better. The first things I did notice is that when we choose a side where to get the pie always get inside the middle of that area, as you can see. Even if I enter with my thumb here on the upper side or on the lower side, the pie it's always in the middle. But if you give a look at the Google Plus page of the Paranoid Android developers, you will see that they already modified this behavior, and in the next release the pie will come out exactly what your finger is. So this is very good. Another things I would love to see the possibility to have one more side to, you know, activate the pie. So not only left or only upper side or only lower side or only right side, but having, for instance, both left and right side, because sometimes it depends on how you hold the device. It's maybe, you know, useful to have the possibility to activate the pie even on another side, for instance. So another few things I saw is that in the, you know, lock screen here, when the chart is too big, like having too many zeros, the hour is a little bit cut here. But you know, nothing too serious, and maybe playing with the hybrid engine and finding a way to identify only the lock screen. We can even change the size of the lock screen and everything would be okay. So for what concern this paranoid Android, that's all. I do really suggest that you use this ROM if you have a Nexus device like the Nexus 4, 7 or 10, because it's really good ROM even with the Galaxy Nexus, of course. So for what concern this dedicated focus on the paranoid Android, that's all. Once more, thanks for watching and bye from TechnoLost.